Hey guys, welcome back to HackIsOn YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate you about the different phases of penetration testing. And in our previous video, we have discussed about what is penetration testing. As a continuation, I'm doing this video. If you didn't watch that my previous video, the link is in the description box. Don't forget to watch it. So let's start. Phases of penetration testing. As a penetration tester, if a company while a company hires you to do a penetration testing, then you need to follow these phases. There are around 6 to 7 phases, and you need to follow these phases to give a complete professional pen testing service. Okay, so every professional pen tester will be following these phases to give a professional pen testing service. So let's discuss about each and every phases in detail. So I'll explain you as much as I can. The very first phase that we are going to discuss about is pre-engagement phase. In my point, this is the very important phase where you need to concentrate more, because this phase, especially this phase, contains lots of legal activities. So this will conclude the scope, and you'll be signing NDA documents like that. So this is the important phase when compared with the other ones. So pre-engagement phase, in this phase you will be concluding the scope. Scope means, for example, you have been hired to do a network penetration testing on a target, and the target has the company has around 20 to 30 servers, and in that only 5 servers are main servers, and the rest of the servers are backup servers. Okay, so for example, let's take like that, and the company wants you to do penetration testing on their main servers, not the backup servers. Okay, so the thing is, only the main servers IPs will come under the scope in scope items, and the rest of the servers will goes on out of scope. So you need to, before taking a work, you need to mention the scope of your work, what type of, in what IPs, what are all the IPs you are going to test, and what are all the domains you are going to test. Like that, you have to mention the scope and the goals and objectives. Okay, so in scope and out, and as well as if you like, you can mention the out of range scopes too. Okay, and the next one is, you'll be signing a legal NDA document, which is mean by non-disclosure agreement. It is an agreement between you and your company. So the company wants you to sign in that NDA, because it is a non-disclosure agreement. You shouldn't disclose any information of that company to anyone else publicly. Okay, so you shouldn't discuss anything about the company's details or company's vulnerabilities in public. So that's the thing NDA means. And the next one is, make sure that you are legally covered, because while doing pen testing, the company might face some loss of services. So you make sure that you are legally covered. You clarify each and everything with the company. Okay, then that's all about the pre-engagement phase. It's like preparing for the penetration testing. So that's called as pre-engagement phase. And the next one is information gathering. So generally, as a penetration tester, you would have known everything about information gathering. So in information, but even though I'll explain you about this, in information gathering phase, you will be gathering all the informations, publicly available informations about the target. You will be doing Google, using GHDB, that is Google Hacking Database, and you'll be using Google Docs to find some sensitive informations on the internet. So you'll be performing both active and passive reconnaissance against the target. Okay, so these are all the things you will be doing, and you'll be finding Google scraping like that. You'll be using search engines to find, and you'll be using open source intelligence tools to find some informations that are regarding to the company. Okay, so the employees email IDs, files, some sensitive informations from the internet, footprinting, reconnaissance, who is lookup, reverse DNS, subdomain, getting the subdomain list, like that. These are all falls under information gathering. So all the generally gathering all the information about the target, okay, that are publicly available, and through Google, like that, search engines and OSINT tools. So the next phase that we are going to discuss is vulnerability assessment. You know about this phase. If you would have watched my previous video, definitely you would have I have clarified about this vulnerability assessment is exactly for scanning vulnerabilities. In this phase, you will be scanning the target for vulnerabilities. You will be performing different types of scanning. You will be using scanning tools like open source scanning tools like Nmap to find open ports and services running on the target, and Nessus for Nessus is a paid tool, and you will be using that Nessus tool for vulnerability scanning different types of vulnerabilities. And the third one is OpenVAS, which is an open source tool for vulnerability scanning. Nikto, like that, there are lots of scanners are available. You will be performing both the manual and automated attacks on the target. So if you are pen testing a website, then you'll be using you will be doing more manual attacks. You will be trying to do more manual attacks, whereas in network attacks, the manual attack will be less, and you'll be using more automated scanners, okay. So that's all about the vulnerability assessment phase. And the next phase is exploitation. This is one of the awesome phase I would have known, because this is the fun part of of our penetration testing, because you will be exploiting those vulnerabilities that you have found on the previous phase. So you would have scanned the target for vulnerabilities, and you would have got some vulnerabilities list, and you will be in this phase, in this exploitation phase, you will be searching exploits for those vulnerabilities, and for exploits for those service versions from exploit DB, like example exploit DB, CX security, like that. Lots of websites are available for publishing the exploits. So you will be searching those things, and you will be exploiting the target. And the one more main thing is you should be for doing more good penetration testing, you should be good at some coding knowledge. You have to you should have some coding knowledge, then you can make your own exploit. So when it comes to red teaming process, you should be good at exploitation. So writing exploits, especially writing exploits, your own exploits will help you in this phase. So exploiting the target, you will be finding lots of you will be exploiting all the services that you have found on the target. You will be trying to exploit those services, okay. So that will be get a good explanation, I think. So that's what you will be doing in this phase. And this phase is is an awesome phase, and it is a fun part of this penetration testing phases, when compared with other phases. And here comes the post exploitation. You have done everything. So for example, you have scanned the target, you have exploited the target, and in the post exploitation phase, you have to clean everything from the main servers. Like you would have posted something on the target. You would have sent some payloads and exploit codes to the target, and you would have exploited the services, right? So after completing everything, after screenshotting everything, you have to clean each and every payloads and exploits from the target. That is the main thing in post exploitation. And after that, you have to rate the vulnerabilities according to the risk management, okay. There is in OWASP, there is a separate blog for that. I'll post the link in the description box. Go and see it out. And I'll post a separate video for those that also, okay. So for a detailed clarification, I'll post a separate video. So in post exploitation phase, you will be rating the vulnerabilities like extreme, critical, high, medium, low, informative. So these are all the 5 ratings that are generally used, and you will be using this risk management to rate the vulnerabilities according to their levels, according to their severity levels, okay. So in post exploitation, you will be doing 2 things. One is deleting everything that you have sent to the target, and that you have used on the target to exploit. And the second one is you will be rating the vulnerabilities. Okay, and the sixth one is report writing. So this is somewhat a good part. This concludes your penetration testing quality, because report writing phase is a important one. It should be clean and clear. It should contain lots of information, lots of detailed information about the exploitation process, because with your report only they will be doing the mitigation process. So it should be clean and clear. If the company has given your report to their blue team, that is the defense team, then they should have the core team members should understand your report. So that much clean and clear it should be. So make sure that your report quality was clean and good. And I'll post a separate video on report writing, because there are some certain things should be you should undergo while writing a report. So I'll share those tips and tricks of report writing in a separate video. Okay, so you should write a clean and clear report with the screenshots. It's like writing a POC to a company. Okay, so how you have done the exploitation process, you will be explaining each and by using the table of contents, you will be explaining each and every thing that you have done while doing this doing this penetration testing. Okay, and the final one is a recommendation. So this is a good part. As a penetration tester, you should give some recommendation to the company. So like for example, your company is using this service, and this service is vulnerable to this attack, and this is a mitigation part. If you done this, you can solve this problem. Like that, you will be giving recommendations to the target, to the company. Okay, like that, this recommendation part is also an important thing. Some companies, some professional companies will arrange a presentation program, because I will be presenting directly to the company itself, to the target company itself. In that meeting, the core team members, the defense core team members will be there, and their CEO or MD or a manager will be there, and you will be doing a presentation in front of them to explain what are all the things that you have undergone, and what are all the recommendations you are having for them to mitigate these exploitation and to safeguard from hackers. So like that, you will be giving recommendations. So if you use this service, then you can protect yourself from hackers. Like that, you will be giving detailed explanation to them. Okay, so hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any doubts regarding this video, please post a comment, and if you want any video, you can directly ask me. And we have previously I've told you, we have started our blog, and I'll post the link in the description box. Do subscribe to our blog, and subscribe to our channel, and click on the bell icons to get immediate updates. So lots of videos are coming for you in the upcoming days. So don't forget to subscribe. Have a nice day, guys. Brother, it's caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire.